tip number 2, and this is the most important of all, and this is the thing that drives me up the wall, is not only is it important to say these things, but it's important to say them in a way that is legible and people can understand what you're saying. And if you notice, I just slowed my speech down a lot, and I'm speaking clearly and crisply. There's a lot of reasons for this on stage. Now, you don't have to say it like this, but you got to talk slow enough and clear enough, because remember, you're speaking through a PA system that is in probably a loud environment and might have effects on it or whatever. And when you mumble or you're off the mic a little bit, you don't really hear the things very well that you're saying. So it's important that when you say the name of your band, that people understand the name of your band. Like I'll say, for instance, I'm doing a Mr. Billy show. I'll say like this: "Hey everybody, thanks for coming out today. Don't forget, I'm Mr. Billy, and you can find us at MrBilly.com. Spell it out, MisterBilly.com. No MR Billy, don't abbreviate it. It's Mr. MisterBilly, Mr. Billy. Yeah, so that's another thing. The other thing I thought was really great too is if you can gamify your talking, which is a real buzzword lately, gamifying things where you get people to participate. The coolest thing I ever saw, there was an opening act at Summerfest last year, and the name of the band was Oh Honey. I don't remember 99% of the band's names I saw last year. I got to be honest with you. I don't have a clue who most of those bands were. But I'll never forget Oh Honey, because in the middle of their show, they're up on stage, and the guy goes, "Okay, everybody, when I say oh, you say honey. Oh, honey. Oh, honey." I'll never forget the name of their band. It was crazy. And then just recently, in the last month or two, I saw on Facebook a thing that says, "Oh, honey, new album out, blah, blah, blah." And I noticed it and remembered it because this guy burned the name of his band into my brain. So I see ads like that, band XYZ has an album out. This band has a going on tour. That band's going on tour. And I don't pay attention, but I saw Oh Honey, and I'm like, oh, wait, Oh Honey, I know those guys.
I've seen them. Yeah.
See what I'm saying? So that's that was brilliant, by the way. And if you could do that. And then that brings me to my third, fourth point, whatever, I lost track. But this brings me to that last point. If you can't be spontaneous and just say stuff off the top of your head and have it make sense. I do have a point after this, but this next one, though, is plan out what you're going to say. Use what I call the Paul Stanley from Kiss approach. His banter is actually part of the songs, and he even does it in a very theatrical way. I don't know if you're familiar with Kiss or not, but he almost sings in between the songs. It's like they finish a song, blah blah blah, song's over, and he goes, "Well, all right, this next song."
Yeah,
and the audience is coughing away. He goes, "All right, this next song is for all you people that like to drink. Who likes to drink out there?" Then they all go crazy. "Who drinks beer? And who likes the taste of whiskey? Who likes tequila? But when I want something really refreshing, I drink cold gin." And then they play cold gin. And if you see them, like I saw them back to back on their reunion tour, exact same banter. Now, this works great if you're playing in different cities every night. If you're playing the same cities in the same places, it could get a little repetitive, but it's a great way for you to learn. He basically scripted out all of his talking just like a song. You can do that. Anybody can do that. You know what I mean? So that's one thing. And last but not least, the biggest tip of all, and there's this one band here that actually fired their frontman recently down in Wisconsin here because this guy was doing this all the time. He would just say stupid things thinking he was being funny or fronting. Like, I don't even want to tell you, it's kind of gross, but he would just say just stupid stuff that ended up offending people. You know what I mean? Because he thought that just talking was important, but he would talk about, all the wrong things.
Yeah, inappropriate things.
Inappropriate things. And it's important that when you're engaging an audience, you're engaging in a positive way, not engaging in a negative way or disengaging or, you know what I mean, or just turning people off. So those are my tips based off of my most recent experiences. I do have a couple of more tips if you want me to talk about them, but this is becoming a monologue here, Bob.
I know, yeah. Look, no, we'll bounce back and forth. I'll take a few off, and then I'll pass it back to you. It occurs to me as we're talking about this that you do need to tailor your banter with the audience to the environment. For instance, the way that I would speak to a loud bar or some kind of party atmosphere where there's a lot of constant noise going on is far different than if I was in a coffee shop or in a church where everyone is completely silent. And I think it's actually those more quiet environments, those more intimate environments that probably intimidate people more. I think you can kind of hide behind the din of all the people talking and, ordering drinks and food or whatever in a loud place, as opposed to when it's dead silent in between songs. And you feel like I got to fill the space, and so I guess I'm probably speaking more to that more intimate environment. But yeah, you're right. You can't get as subtle. You can't get as intimate in those loud things. Sometimes you just got to yell the name of the song or yell "Cold Gin" and go into it. But yeah, I do agree. The scripted thing is great. One note that I wrote down here is if you're stuck on things to say, is tell stories about what inspired the song. If it's an original song, just a real quick story about what it means or when you wrote it or some kind of little interesting twist on it. If it's a cover song, maybe why that artist or that song appeals to you or what it meant. It meant to you. Now you don't have to do this between every. You don't have to have these long-winded things to set up every song. There should be probably little groupings of 2 or 3 songs in your sets with little spaces where you can talk to people more. And also in the middle of songs, you can just vamp on the root chord of the song and talk to people too. Something related to the tune or the topic. Again, pay attention to what's going on. Thank the bartenders and the staff. Make sure that you're expressing gratitude to the audience, to the staff, to the venue. Is there an important thing going on? If you're on tours, make some reference to the city, something you learned about the city. Definitely don't make fun of it. Don't say something inappropriate. It should all be very positive. And then there's musical things that you can do. So we mostly been focusing on banter, and I think that's probably the one thing where a lot of musicians get tripped up is just getting used to that speaking with people. And you can ask questions, and if somebody shouts something out, you can, instead of just ignoring them and leave me alone, I don't want to be bothered, engage them. Unless it's a heckler or somebody saying something stupid, then that's not going to work. But you could also get interaction going by clapping along. Singing along, encourage people to get up and dance on the faster songs, and so any way that you can get them physically or verbally involved will just make it a more meaningful experience for them. Sir?
Oh, you're done?
Yeah, well, I'm taking a little pause there, catching my breath.
That's fine. Yeah, and I mean, one of the things I always do when I get to a venue is I always get, I write down names of important people, whether it's servers, bartenders, security. That's a good one. That's actually good to know to give them a heads up and also to call out their name if you have a problem. And then I also work the room and make sure I talk to people. And let's not forget the golden ticket that Billy uses that nobody else uses that I've come across is the whole texting thing. During the night, man, I encourage people to text me and send me pictures of our show. And then, I when they send me stuff, I actually acknowledge them and say, hey, look, Bob just sent us this great picture here. Thank you, man. Or some people don't like to come up and tell you they're having a birthday and anniversary or to embarrass somebody. And I have them text us. And then, 2 or 3 times during the set, one of us checks the phone and find out what people are sending us, requests or whatever, so that works out really good too.
Yeah, and if you have love songs or something, you can say, hey, anybody, we have any married couples here? Well, you find out who's been married the longest in the room, or something. Usually there aren't birthday songs unless you're doing the Beatles or something.
But also, that's one thing I recommend. Thank you for bringing that up. I recommend every band put together something fun for a birthday. Bands blow that all the time. In fact, here's a great engagement tool. I use this a lot at festival type. Well, when we play like street corner type things where we have the audience right in front of us, what we do is, whenever somebody's got like a special birthday or an event or whatever, we bring them up on the stage or bring them over by the band, and we tell their friends, okay, we're going to do something really cool. Everybody get your cell phones out and film it. And then post it up on Facebook. That's a biggie, man. As soon as I tell people live, this is like the new engagement. We talk about like the old stuff, like the talking, the clap your hands, blah blah blah. But the new engagement for us has been telling people to do the Vine, do the Snapchat, do the Facebook, and like I'll bring people up on the stage, and then at the end, like before the show and at the end of the sets, I'll say, everybody come on up and take a selfie with the band. That's huge. As soon as you get people with the band, either on the stage or in front of the stage, like coming up. We started doing this in North Dakota on our last tour with M80, with my 80s band. We started during the show telling people while the band's playing, come up and stand in front of the stage and take a selfie with the band playing in the background and put it up on the venue's Facebook page. And that just goes so far, because now the person that did it feels like they're special. They'll remember the band. It's helping promote the bar, and it's helping promote the band. I mean, it's a 360-degree win, So whatever your tribe is into, if they're into Facebook, they're into Vine, they're into Snapchat, whatever they do, or texting, embrace that and make that part of your engagement, because, people, they've got their cell phones with them all the time, and they want to use them all the time. And these bands that yell at people and throw away their phones like Queensryche did and all that stuff, and bitch at people because they got their cell phones out and they're taking pictures or they're texting their friends saying, look at me, man, I'm at this concert. And that's creating a chasm. That's not engaging your fans. You know what I'm saying? So in my opinion, you guys do what you want, but in my opinion, embrace what your fans love and find a way to use it as an engagement tool. There, I've said it.
You said it. You said it well. Yeah, last couple months or so, I published a new ebook. I think it's currently just available on Amazon, called The 5-Minute Music Marketer. So they're little mini marketing activities that you can engage in on a regular basis. But I have a whole section there on live shows, and just the photo taking alone can happen from so many different angles. Like, one thing is from the stage, you can take photos of the audience. Where you guys are looking so good, I want to get a picture of you. You encourage. Your fans certainly can take photos of you on stage, but encourage them to take photos of each other. Then during your breaks or after the show or whatever, pose and with your fans, get with the staff. So there's just so many angles that you can do, and encourage people to share those, and then make sure that you pick out the best photos from the night later, after the gig or the next morning or whatever, then post them to your website or whatever social media sites you use. So yeah, there's just another form of engagement, but it makes it more of an experience for people.
Yeah, basically what we're talking about is this. Anybody can plug in their headphones into their device and listen to music. Anybody can watch YouTube. Anybody can watch a concert on Blu-ray or DVD or whatever. But if you're going to go out and do a live show, it is not that. It is an experience, and you need to make those people remember this, because let's face it, you usually don't remember sitting in front of the YouTube or listening to an album on your iPod or whatever. But if you have a memorable experience at a live event, you'll remember that for the rest of your life, and that's your job. Your job is to create an experience that they want to take ownership of and remember and tell other people about, and they want to do it again and then come see you again and again and again. And the way to do that is through engagement. And engagement, can take so many different levels. You know what I mean? So really, we could go on for hours, days with this topic, but I think at this point we need to throw it in your hands, and maybe for you to ponder. And why don't you tell us some of your tricks and things you do to engage fans? What did we miss? We don't know everything. We know just about everything, but we don't know everything.
Almost, but not quite. Yeah.
So why don't you tell us some of your tricks, and we'll talk some more about engagement. You can do that through SpeakPipe, Bob.
Yeah, it's speakpipe.com/Mr. Buzz Factor, and that's MR.